didn't get to run on Monday night, and I couldn't run two of them because of what's getting ready to happen in that game.
Oh my.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Yeah, yeah, we know.
Chancellor has my phone number. He could have called me. Um, my girl would didn't even try to wake me up, and I'm like, God damn it! It was
Fuck
this
it, dude.
combination of like, uh,
I'm just busting your balls anyway, dude. Don't take anything I say personal. I don't. So sometimes it just happens, but yeah, like I'm. If I ever can get going again, I'd like to get longer sessions, a couple of longer sessions, kind of running around,
Hmm.
main
every
reason
now and again at least.
the main reason why I like playing on with people because when I first joined the what was it uh, Gilded server and started playing with the guys there, uh, the people that would because both you and Maddie used to put up videos regularly of just the
Mm-hmm.
games. And one of the things
Yep.
I did like about it was the a 2 hour time limit because of YouTube algorithm and dumb shit like that.
Yep.
That was very convenient because we would get the game, uh, get shit done. 2 hours, I would have time to do other stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
in that time period, though, my work completely switched up, and now I literally leave for work at like 1:30 in the morning,
Ugh.
Oh my.
unless I'm going on a plane.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, I'm just I said my big thing is I hope I don't
Well,
disappoint the players as far as how
I,
I run games and stuff.
I have to say that the way this has been going so far has actually been pretty cool.
Okay.
I
Like I
like
said,
the
if as
system.
we yeah, well, and as we get more familiar with the system, we'll be able to tighten down and get a lot more done in the couple hours we play
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
too. So that's the bright spot. As we learn the system, we can double down and really just start flowing with the game. We run into the same thing with Genesis because Genesis is brand new to everybody except me.
Hmm.
well, I think Melkor knows a little bit about it just because I think Star
Yeah,
Wars is very similar.
yeah. I used to
Yeah,
run Star Wars all the freaking time.
Hmm.
I know Star Wars like the back of my hand.
yeah, it's a little confusing, but I like my character in that game.
I have to say, but my favorite thing about the Mythcraft game so far is the way you do character construction.
Yep.
It's very different from the way stuff like AD&D would do it. But the way it has the sort of like modularity of like choose this thing and now you have these other options that you can do later on actually works quite well in terms of having a flexible character class system while still having something that's more or less a character class system. And of course, there's always the thing it's like you don't actually have to choose any of the character classes anyways.
Oh, he walked away.
I have no
Yeah,
idea what
the
happened to his camera.
he stood up. He muted and stood up. So the thing I like about this system is okay, so character creation I actually hate about it because it takes a long time. I'm used to running lighter systems with a little bit more crunch. I haven't run into a system like White Hack that does that. The Castles and Crusades was very interesting because I thought it would be easier, and then I found out it's just basically just 3.0, and I just it just reminded me of everything I hated about 3.0, and I'm like, this game
Okay,
is
the thing you say about options and character creation, I did feel the need to make two different Excel spreadsheets documenting options in this game so that I could compare them properly because flipping through the book for hours on end just wasn't cutting it.
Yes, and the layout is horrible. If the book was laid out like great,
If the book
that wouldn't
actually
be
had
that an issue.
tables in it, I would be a lot happier with the way the book works.
Yes. So like the system that I run for people and the one that I like playing in the most is White Hack, and it's literally 140 pages. It it it's it gets to the point, and the way the class system works, classes is how your character mechanically plays is different from your vocation, which your vocation is actually what people are used to what classes are. So you could have like a strong rogue, a wise rogue, a deft rogue, and they all operate completely differently, even though they're the same location.
Yeah.
Sorry about going up like that. And I tried to say it, and you guys were cross talking. I was not cross talk. I had to go pee. I didn't think you guys wanted to
Oh,
hear
I
that
see.
happen.
Oh, I thought it
Well,
looked like you dropped your
if
camera.
I didn't hear you say why you were getting up, I just saw you get up for
Yeah,
a minute.
yeah. I was trying to say I needed to get up and go to the bathroom, and you guys were cross talking. So I was just like, "Fuck
Oh
it, I'm just
well.
gonna get up and pee."
Anyways,
Yeah, like I said, if you're comfortable with doing kind of micro, as far as the way I aim, if you're comfortable in micro kind of micro sessions, like hour and a half, 2 hour sessions,
sure,
once
I can
everything
do
is
that.
down and system wise, well, and once the system's down, once we understand the system, like I said, we'll be able to do a lot because I try, and most of the people that play with me kind of follow the steps and follow the lead with it. We try to just stay on point and try not to do too much crosstalk and all that kind of stuff so that we get a lot done.
Yes. Um, it might be easier next session to like write up a quick little list of all the locations we could visit because looking at that map, we're just looking at little roofs.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to.
that 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 is actually a thing. Is that map? The map is great. The map has no labels on it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you got to imagine what that's like for a GM because the GM is trying to describe where things are at, and even looking at the map, it doesn't really help
I
sometimes.
get the feeling that whoever actually wrote this adventure was basically expecting you to use your imagination when using your imagination to fill in gaps is expected, except that you need to have, a framework to, work with. And this is a little light on the framework. The actual like story concept is great though.
Oh, I
Yes.
love the story concept that it put out. This adventure is really well crafted. No pun intended.
The map though, yeah, labels would be great.
Yeah, labels would be great, or giving more detailed maps of each individual part of the city
Mm-hmm.
would be better. Uh,
Oh yeah, that was actually a thing I was wondering about. It's like, what is if it actually has interior maps of anything? Maybe not.
no, it has the interior of the Bradshaw Manor, but like even that's kind of a rough map of the interior.
Um, shit. So I'm being retarded because I'm working on three things at once because my Saturday game group
Mhm.
they're playtesting my uh, Mega Dungeon Train
Hmm.
Yeah,
on rails. It's like a sandbox, but you're on rails, so it's building out like a bunch of countries as you're traveling around. Uh,
nice.
a long time. What I was working on originally, which is I think I'm going to tie it into this, but I want to release this as separately. Um, I was originally creating a module based off of Dracula in London. If you ever heard of that, I don't know if I mentioned it before. It's a board game,
Nice.
and, uh, which it kind of reminds me of this because it's a town, except you're not. hunting down Dracula, who's basically so Dracula's in London. Uh, he's smuggling a bunch of coffins into the city and shit, and you're basically trying to track him down and get rid of all his cargo, and you have to track him down within 3 days.
Hmm.
If you don't track him down in 3 days, you might get lucky. You might be able to find him at his uh, castle in Transylvania. But if he's not there, he gets away and you lose. And it came out in 1988 for like
Mhm.
PC, and it was like ahead of its time because it had a lot of emerging gameplay. Renfield could run around and murder one of your guys escaping the asylum that he's at, or he could actually side with you and like kill Dracula. Anytime you split the party, and you risk basically Mina being attacked by Dracula over and over again. And
We
I
sat down
wanted to
last
create.
night and watched. We sat down last night and watched Dracula Dead and loving it. So now every time I hear Redfield, I can't. This man needs an enema.
Well, I mean, Dracula Dead and Loving It is definitely a movie.
I love that movie. Uh, Leslie Nielsen, man.
It was a very
Have you played?
memorable performance.
Yes, it was. Have you ever played the board game, the Jack the Ripper board game, where like it's a deduction game
Nope.
and he moves all over White. It's called Whitechapel. He moves all over Whitechapel and stuff, and you have to deduce where he's at and
I mean,
everything, or he gets away,
I
and it's
mean,
really creepy.
the name Whitechapel is very familiar to me because it's a real place. But
The so there's uh back a while back when I was using Fedora with the shitty ass fucking GNOME 3.0. There was a repository for this game that was based off of that, except it was a multiplayer. Basically, you're trying to cut off all the exits and track down a killer that one of the other players played. I believe it
Yep.
was based off of that because I remember something about that, but I
hmm.
never actually played the Jack the
Yep.
Ripper game.
See,
Yeah, it's well,
But
what
there's a
you're
PC game based off of
describing,
it.
yeah, the way you're describing that Dracula game, it's very similar, kind of similar to Whitechapel.
Yes. So I basically doing what I was trying to do with this Dracula London thing was port it over so you could have like a city crawl adventure, but make
oh,
it generic enough so you could make it not Dracula. It could be like a body snatching werewolf, or it could just be a random killer. And because I ran a few games with a system similar to that, and I just wanted to put it into written form.
hmm.
But I keep stopping and starting new projects. that, that's
Gee,
I,
gamers
I
don't know anything about
I
that.
often start projects and underestimate just how much time it'll take to actually complete the project. Like you may have noted that I've posted several different things where I'm either doing a live stream or posting a YouTube video about something called Gigaopoly. The sheer
Yep.
number of hours I've been working on that, it's uh, way more than I thought it would be. And I would
Like I'll
actually
come.
say that I'm only about half done with it.
Yeah. So the issue with me is like as because I have games on Tuesdays and on Saturdays that I run. I'll get the I'll run something really cool that I set up, and I'm going to write this out. And then the next game sessions, I'll just completely forget about it because we're doing something else pretty fucking cool too.
Yep.
And I'll eventually get it finished. Um, like the mega dungeon train that I had was originally just gonna be a mega dungeon you could play at cons. Now it turned this
Yep.
whole ass thing where because it, for like cons you're just traveling for like 3 days for different locales. We end up traveling like 9 days and basically pass through like quite a few countries. And the way the game ended was players failed, and the Miriam faction was able to get the Maxim gun, and like a world war broke out. And then the
Nice.
players were like, "Oh, this is cool. Uh, do you have like rules for like generating these cities and shit? Because we want to take sides with this shit because this is awesome. Like, because a lot of role playing games usually take place in like smaller like baronies and shit, but not like multiple different countries. We end up plotting out like something like the size of like the U.S. with a bunch of different countries and shit, and just basically the maximum gun being like this thing that would like cause a lot of issues. So I created a bunch of like on the fly a bunch of like tables for like I still have to work it out, but basically I'm working on like logistics for like different train lines. Like, did you know that the Russians were able to stop the Germans from using the railways just because they use different spacing for their rails?
Yeah, I
They
heard
were like
about
being
that. Is that
compatible.
there's actually several different train stations in Eastern Europe where the whole point of the train station is one train parks next to another train. The two different tracks are different gauges, and they basically just like haul everything off of train A and shove it into train B.
Yes. And still trying to work out a lot of the stuff with it, and it was been wing with it. And every time I try to come up with more stuff with it, I just get bogged down. And I don't think I'll ever get to finish
Hmm. One
it.
project that I actually sort of started working on a while back, but I've made no serious progress on it recently, was trying to come up with a way of making a Mad Lib style, uh, not a true hex crawl, but like randomized episode of the week sort of format for a Thundar the Barbarian RPG, where you kind of like do like a random card draw to find out what uh, various plot elements, who the main bad guy is, and so on. And I haven't actually gotten any serious work done on that. It's more of an idea I want to do at this point than actually something I've done. Well.
The cards idea, like I know a lot of people don't like. Some people like cards in their RPGs. Some of them don't. Uh, from a programming aspect, the uh, the card idea could be used to not reuse particular events. Like Betrayal of the House of Hills, like a board game where
Hmm.
you could build out like a mansion. I used that specifically to build out the random houses like the Carfax and the Dracula London type thing.
Oh yeah.
I
Well, I
didn't
mean,
invent that. I just took it and just took out the rules from Dracula London, and used the building mechanics for that.
this is
And
actually one
for
thing I've often talked to people about. Is like why I like the idea of using cards for hex crawls. Is that each possible encounter is written on a different card. You shuffle the cards together, you draw one, and then you put it in the discard pile.
So the cool thing about this 1988 game, because it was one of the first, one of the earliest emerging games. It when you look at the code, it's basically like a card system, just so like events wouldn't repeat, but it'll lead you down different sets of decks. That's the best way to describe it. It's just a bunch of fucking random tables, and it allows Renfield to do operate independently, as well as Dracula, with a bunch of other random events, as in like Arthur um, the policeman. Uh, when you're breaking into these houses and shit, if you don't have them in your party, uh, they'll get locked up. You'll have random situations where you'll have characters leave for a while for a funeral, take him out of the game, and it also affects what populates the houses. And like basically, Dracula will be moving around between all these houses that haven't been able to generate it yet, or ones that have been generated in the game. So you could accidentally run into him, he'll just pop in through a window, kill one of your guys, and freak out and like leave. The game's a little bit ridiculous. I think the only other game that I heard of that did something similar was the old Hobbit game, where Gandalf would walk around just like murk things or get himself killed. Uh, that one was different because that one's a real time game. Um, but have you guys heard of the Hobbit
Yeah,
Hmm.
for the Commodore 64? That game
yeah,
is wild.
I'd heard that the
yeah.
C64 had a bunch of really screwy stuff. Because, like, old school text based RPGs, because of the fact that the people who programmed them didn't need to concern themselves with fancy 3D graphics and could put like 20 hours a week into just writing complicated stories. Yeah.
Well, not necessarily complicated stories. Like they experimented with like real time stuff. Like the Hobbit inspired the Dark Seed series. Basically how all three games, like the Hobbit and the Dark Seed games, with the H. Greiger fucking crazy weird shit, is like time passes in real time, and uh, basically NPCs have their own set schedules and they do random stuff. The Hobbit was a little bit ridiculous because Gandalf can go around and murk everything ahead of your path as you're like traveling through the game, or get himself killed and like screw you over. Dark Seed in particular, you're stuck in a time loop where you're dealing with aliens from another fucking dimension. Uh, Very horrific, and you're basically trying to figure out through schedules and through trial and error to get to the end of the game.
Wait a second.
They
Hold
don't
on.
make
The
games
whole
like that
like
anymore.
time loop thing sounds an awful lot like a certain movie that came out a few years back.
Looper?
Uh,
No, no, it's not Looper.
it
Uh,
had I remember her name is Blum
Blum?
as the uh she's not the main character, but she's the main female character.
Uh,
And Tom Cruise
Emily
as
Blunt?
Blunt. Sorry,
Or
yeah,
yeah.
Blunt. Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise as the two main characters. I don't. Oh, Edge
Oh,
of
Edge of
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
like that.
just that the thing you were describing in the about that Commodore 64 game reminded me of the plot of that a lot.
Uh, the old Commodore 64 game, like I would totally recommend playing Lords of Midnight, but the Hobbit game might be over people's heads.
Hmm. Well,
But a game that aged very well that I would recommend everyone to play because of the art is done by the master, uh, H. Greiger, Dark Seed, at least the very
Yeah.
first one.
That's a fucking weird game, dude.
I would avoid the second game because the second game is just weird and not as good. But the first game was amazing.
Did you know they're doing a Phantasmagoria movie?
Ah,
well, I mean, Hollywood ran out of new ideas, so it makes sense that they would start strip mining for old ideas that they haven't done yet.
the thing is, I think it might suck just because like the because of the technology back then, those gruesome scenes in like Phantasmagoria were like gut wrenchingly like scary. Like it looked like Play-Doh, but it like made me feel sick when I was younger when I played it. I don't
One
get that
one
feeling
thing
with the
that
newer
modern
horror
filmmakers
movies.
seem to have forgotten about how a lot of old films worked is you have the people who are doing special effects actually understand the limitations of the special effects and don't try to force the special effects to do things that the special effects can't do. Like it's one thing I keep telling people about why the CGI in Babylon 5 looks so good. Realistically, modern computer games can render real-time graphics playing the game that are actually higher fidelity than what you saw in Babylon 5. It's just that the people making the models did a very good job of choosing textures to put on the models that looked good when you saw them on screen, and they didn't try to force textures to fit that didn't actually work. And of course, they understood the fact that the CGI that they were using makes flat, largely featureless shapes, so that they would just put on like smooth, whatever contours to things, and then just run with that.
The thing is with the only thing I have to disagree about it is the reason why Phantasmagoria is so like scary is because of the uncanny valley of the limitations of the graphics, because
Hmm.
you're using actual actors with like old 1995 backgrounds in like 3D, and also incorporates a lot of body horror.
Hmm.
uh,
To be honest,
that
body
game is a
horror
classic.
is always one of those things because, like, it's actually like a thing from the original Alien that has body horror in it. The whole like
Yeah.
chest burster thing. It's like some weird creature attacks you, and then something like rips a hole in your chest as it exits your body, and like it's one of those things that's a visceral fear reaction in people.
Yeah, like another example is like the Evil Dead movies. Evil Dead 2, it's a good movie. It's not that scary. The first movie scared the shit out of me towards the end because of the Play-Doh monster at the
Oh,
end,
well,
because it
like
was very uncanny looking.
there's also that whole thing of in the second movie he refers to it simply as my hand went bad, where he gets possessed, but it's not his entire body; it's just one of his hands, and he uh, he has to like cut his hand off to stop the possession.
Yeah, Legacy. Thanks for reminding me about this because I need to play Phantasmagoria again for Halloween. I completely forgot about this game.
Hmm.
Game. It's a weird game. You know what game? I need to wish you could get it on modern fucking consoles. But you can't. Is Sanity's Requiem.
Oh,
Oh,
that game is one of those that where the intellectual property rights associated with it are basically got banished to hell.
Yeah,
So
it's one of those games going to be lost to
remakes,
media because
re-releases, nah, nope, not gonna
yeah,
happen.
not going to happen.
my
Yeah,
brother
it's a
owns the
shit
game.
show.
My brother owns the game. He never plays it.
But do you have a GameCube?
He has a Wii.
That's the other thing with that game though is that someone actually managed to coerce the patent office into letting them patent certain of the game mechanics they used in that so that no one else would ever be able to make a game using the same game mechanics and a different plot.
Wouldn't hold up in court because you got Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid.
I get that personally. I do. It's just that no one wants to spend the hundreds of thousands of dollars it would take to do a court battle like that. Which, yeah, I consider that an abuse of the legal system on the part of the people who filed patents like that. But, well, they already filed the patents. Oh
Uh,
well. Oh right, I just stream so running. Yeah, I'm gonna.
so